Blog Talk Radio.
Following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add groove to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio with your host, Angelo Cummings. A show for trans folks by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard.
Well, hello, and good evening, and welcome to Transition Radio, live from the land of enchantment. My name is Angelo Cummings, your host. But before I start the show, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, thebreastformstore.com. They have everything you can imagine to enhance your feminizing needs. And Dr. Vartan Madirosian, a facial feminization specialist based out of Jupiter, Florida. Please visit my website and click on their banners and show your support and tell them Transition Radio sent you. And don't forget to also support my advertiser, Katie Leon. She's an amazing trans writer, and she has several books out there for you to check out. Please support her. But also support Transition Radio by clicking the donate button. No small amount is too small. In fact, if you donate, you will get a gift. Here's a breakdown. I just started this whole thing yesterday, and I figure, hey, if you guys have any input, please feel free to let me know. I'm just shooting at the hip here. But this is how I'm planning to do this stuff. If you donate $5, I will give you one of my MP3, personally send it via email. And this month will be Soul Pollution, which seems to be one of the most liked songs on the album Enslaved. And I'll send you a personal thank you email. But if you don't like the song Soul Pollution, hey, I'll be glad to send you whatever MP3 of mine that you like. Go through my YouTube channel, and there is a playlist of over 130 songs that I've written. So whichever one you want, I will email to you personally. Also, $10 will get you an ebook of my biography. The Mirror Makes No Sense. It's an awesome book. It's helped a lot of people. And I also have several health books that are ebook forms, and I'm considering writing a lot more. And if you give $50, you'll get a one-time Skype consultation with yours truly, life coaching or fitness guidance. $100 will get you mentioned on the shows, received a signed autographed CD Enslaved, and your choice of any of my ebooks, and also a Skype consult. Recurring donations will continue to receive gifts, and a percentage of the proceeds will go to a different LGBT organization or funds for an SRS for any of the trans brother and sister every month. So, if I sound a little out of whack, it's because, A, I didn't get much sleep last night. My beloved Gianda finally arrived. She's got more balls, pardon the French, than anybody I know, but she drove straight through, left at 12:30 noon yesterday, did not stop except to get gas and maybe stretch her legs. She drove, I would imagine it was over 20 hours. You got to give her a hand for that, because I know I couldn't do something like that. But I was worried, and we kept texting back and forth, and I didn't get good sleep, and I haven't had great sleep for the past few days with the anticipation. So please excuse me. And I don't know what happened in the beginning of the show, but the intro kind of wasn't playing. The countdown was showing, but I didn't hear it. And then all of a sudden it started playing. So I don't know how this whole thing is going to turn out, but hey, what can we do? Let's get real. That's the major, or the focus of the radio show from now on. I want to kind of gear away from all the negative trans political stuff that everyone talks about. Everyone's always bitching about this, that, and the other. I want to start focusing on positive things, love and light, spirituality, how we could help each other as a species. Forget about all these labels, black, white, gay, straight, bi, you name it, trans, queer, this, that, and the other. We are constantly dividing one another instead of realizing, hey, we all put one pant leg at a time, and when we die, we all go to the ground. We're connected, and we need to start focusing more on our likeness than our differences. Everyone battles with each other. You got all these different minorities fighting with one another. They get pounded by the majority, and we fall for it because we're fighting against one another. No single interest group has united forces. Instead, we fight. Why is this? Hey, guys, remember you could call in at 646-716-6895. Again, that's 646-716-6895 to join in the discussion at any time. This is your show. Let your voice be heard. Little Marky here doesn't like to ramble on its own all the time, and it gets kind of lonely, although I have an audience today because my beloved Yonda is sitting in the /dining/office area and is looking at me, which is kind of awkward because it's never happened unless I've had the co-host next to me, which is different. But please call in and just to say hello, ask a question, whatever it is that you want to talk about. The show is for you, and we are open to all sorts of discussion. Anyways, I was mentioning about the minorities battling one another. Do you think that this just happens out of coincidence? Do you think that we're worried about people crossing the border when, if you look at Mother Earth, Big Blue Planet, does she have any indications that there are any borders? Who do you think benefits from all this? Immigration is a business, as is religion, as is the government. It is all based on businesses, and they don't have our true interest. As a matter of fact, we went in and turned in the car this morning, Enterprise, which my beloved Gian has had a lot of problems with them in the past. The girl checking in the car looks the car around and tells us, hey, go inside. She takes the car to the little car area where they're going to wash it, and then she comes in with, oh, we found the spot on top of the roof. And we're like, well, you didn't find that spot on top of the roof or that little dent that's over 2 inches when you did the check. So are they doing this on purpose, folks? You kind of wonder. Everything has become a business. Everything's become, how can we screw with a little guy? We're taxed, we're fined, we're this, we're that. You buy a car, you have to register it, buy a tag, do this, that, and the other. They are not letting us breathe. And we need to change things around. We need to just dismantle the matrix altogether because it is all part of a division so they could conquer, keep us fighting. If we start loving one another and we start not paying attention to the outer forces that are trying to destroy us, you know what? We've won and they have lost. We need to start leading our lives from our heart space versus our mind and ego. And this is something that we are taught from the time we're little kids. It's like competition. You've got to be better than the other guy. You go to kindergarten, you fight with every kid in the playground because, it's like programmed. You've got to be better. Hey, you got to be in the football team, the soccer team. Instead of playing for the fun of it, no, they want you to play to win. And what is winning? How do we accomplish going from our heart space versus our mind and ego? Starters, start looking within. Start finding your inner voice. Not that voice that they program you from the time you're little. You hear that alarm at school means, hey, second period, third period, or they sit you in front of a teacher who is given this book and they teach you history and they teach you all these formulas and things that absolutely mean nothing. And they program you to stop believing in yourself. You're starting to second guess yourself because when you're a little kid, you go into that heart space and you laugh and you have this totally different persona about you till they start programming you. And then you lose that angelic self. Thank God there is an evolution. Mother Earth is speaking, and many of us are awakening and finding that, hey, we don't have to listen to politics. We don't have to listen to religion. We don't have to listen to our teachers. We have to start listening to our heart space because that's where it is all about. Tuning into that heart. Right now, this is how I'm able to talk to you folks because to tell you the truth, my mind is dead. I am tired. If I were to speak from my mind, I'd probably be going blah, 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 because nothing would come out. But right now, I am speaking to you from the heart, from that space that connects me with something higher than me. Because I'm just a little peon. I'm in here, I'm a little spirit learning to be godly again and going up the ladder and experiencing everything that's happening in life, from relationships to troubles to diseases, everything that happens. You know, last week I touched upon the difference between soulmates and twin souls. Many people have challenged my life and the many different loves I've had. Not that I need to explain how I lead my life, but I will help you understand. As I mentioned earlier, there is no coincidence in life. Every relationship we have, from our mother and father, brother and sister, best friend, lovers, all have something to teach us. There is no coincidence. Some relationships will last a lifetime because you're meant to be with a person a lifetime to learn certain things. Some relationships could last 6 months, 2 weeks, a year, 5. Once you've learned what you needed to learn from that experience, you move on. I know it saddens a lot of people. Breakups are hard. There's nothing easy about breakups, as are death. But these are things that happen to teach us. If we start looking at life in a different light versus tragedy, oh, how terrible. Oh, this only lasted such and such time. We always want to put everything in a box. We always want to control everything. And that is why we're so miserable. So I lead my life through my heart space. I follow my higher guidance. And whatever my higher guidance tells me that I need to do, I am there. So this is how I am able to love different times, time and time again. Because that is what we do. That is what spirits do. We don't have this little limited version that they try to teach us. Oh, this is what you're supposed to do and follow this instruction and microwave in the oven for 30 seconds. No, folks, there are no instructions. You just follow your heart. And I know that it's very hard for many of you to understand that because of the way you've been programmed. But just follow your heart and it will not lead you wrong. And if you make a mistake, you know what? Hey, you pick yourself up again and do it all over. That is what it's all about. Wipe your knees, pick yourself up, bring your head up, and go forward. Making mistakes is okay. Perfection does not exist. And this is a lesson that I myself have to learn because being OCD and being such manic, whatever you want to call it, thanks to the upbringing, and I love my mother to death, but, you know, hey, she was taught that way, and her mother was taught that way, and no one's ever broke the mold. But at least I am aware, and at least I know. And I battle with this within myself, but it's okay because I'm aware. And I know that I'm supposed to do what I do. And I'm trying to be gentle with myself because I could be my worst enemy. And when I judge myself for being the way I am, it actually harms me. And I've learned this, so I just kind of accept what is. I kind of talk to myself and say, hey, Marky, it's okay, Papa, you know. Breathe. You'll get it. It's all right. So things aren't as straight as they should be or organized as they should be right now, but, you know, you'll work through this and everything will be fine. And I think part of me requires things to be a certain way almost to keep me at peace, to keep things at bay, because my mind goes 50,000 miles per hour. And if things are organized, I could kind of center myself a little bit. It's almost like my form of therapy. You know, to get things in a certain way. It just soothes me. Just like rocking soothes me. You know, ever since I was a little kid, I had a rocking chair that my father built for me because he saw that, hey, I used to rock. I would sit or stand and rock. He goes, I'll build her a rock chair. So I don't have my rocking chair, and so that kind of, pardon the French, sucks. So other things have to soothe me, and that's being organized. Maybe too much information there, folks, but I'm constantly sharing with you because that's what I do. I share. I always wear my heart out for you and for everyone to see because I have no malice bone in my body. I have no bad intentions. And although I've been misunderstood many of times, all I ever do stems from love. Now, talking about love, self-love, how important is it? I know there are many people out there in the world that really don't understand the concept of self-love. They think of it as something selfish because that's what we're taught. We're supposed to always think of everybody else before you think of you. Well, newsflash, folks, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. And possibly nobody can love you, because what you're going to do is attract people that are self-centered, that are hateful, that are looking for something from you. I think that's one of the things that religion fails to teach, that our school system fails to teach, and that our parents, maybe not all, but the majority of them, fail to teach. Self-love. Well, how do you love yourself? I mean, is there an instruction manual somewhere that tells us how we love ourselves? It's not an easy thing. But let me tell you, when you meditate, and not many people know how to meditate, let's say when you just relax and you're in a little corner of the world by yourself. It could be out in your garden, in your bed, sitting, listening to relaxing music. Talk to yourself. Ask yourself, what makes me happy? Am I giving to me the best that I could give? Or am I destroying my life by doing things that are not in the right frequency to my health? What am I doing wrong? Or what am I doing right? Go within. Talk to that inner child. We have an adult and an inner child. The key is to learn how to balance both and to have them both do a dance of love and be gentle and loving. Love yourself like how you would love somebody to love you, or how you learn how to love somebody else. Talk to yourself. And yes, it's okay to talk back. I know people think that's schizophrenia, whatever else, other labels that the medical community want to put upon us. But have a deep conversation with yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes I get a little unbearable that I can't even stand myself. But then I talk to myself, and I'm gentle. And I tell myself, Mark, it's okay, bud. This is how it is. It'll be better tomorrow, or it's fine the way it is. Self-love is important, and that is why I have been lucky in love, because I love myself. Even as a kid, when people used to make fun of me because I was cross-eyed, learning disabled, had problems making friends or whatever else, everybody would be playing out in the playground, and I'd be sitting in a little corner there by myself. I was okay, because I loved myself. There were periods of time that I probably didn't, when I became a teenager, because you're in peer pressure and all this stuff, and you're going through all this hormonal craziness, that I probably second-guessed my self-love. But it all came back to taking care of yourself and your body shows self-love. Listening to your body when it tells you to stop doing things that are not in alignment is crucial. I want to start talking a little bit about health tips and things of that nature, but I want you guys to call in and ask me questions. It's important to have an interaction here. It's not just talk show host talks his ear off and everybody else goes, God, can he shut up kind of thing. It's important to create a dialogue. And I want you guys to be part of this awakening, of this healing with me. It's okay to be shy. It's okay to be fearful when you call in. We will work it out together, because that's what we do as a spirit family. Again, doesn't matter what color, race, religion, sexual preference, whatever it is. We're all one, and we need to learn to heal one another, with one another. I want to also, besides talking about health tips, things of the nature, like, for instance, a lot of people, I think, eat way too much acidic foods. And acidic foods create a lot of cancer and disease, which means your body's out of balance. We're like a pool. You dip that little pH stick in the pool and it tells you, oh, it's such and such, 78. I don't know. I'm not much of a pool person, but yeah, it's got little digits and it tells you have too much acidity or too much alkalinity or whatever else. Or our body is the same way. And there's a lot of foods that we eat that create a lot of acidity in our body, which creates a lot of problems. So we need to eat foods that alkalinize our bodies a little bit better. What foods are they? Green foods, spinach, kale, anything green alkalinizes your body. Animal products create a lot of acidity, which creates a lot of problems, a lot of cancer. I want to talk to you also about tapping into your spirit guide. How do you do that, many people say? Again, there is no manual. We all have a different way of communicating with our spirit guide. After all, it is your spirit guide, and it's your own personal guide. So you need to figure out a way that works for you. But I will give you some tips. At night, right when you are in between that awake and sleep state, you almost feel like you're in this euphoric state. Well, that's the best time to really connect with your spirit self. So let's say you have a question in mind right before you go to sleep. You tap your chest, 2 fingers. I usually like to use my right hand, your index and middle finger, and tap your heart chakra. And as you're doing that, and as you're asking the question and asking your spirit guide to reveal himself or herself to you, or maybe it's an androgynous spirit guide, who knows, you will start getting messages. I get messages every night. I get downloads. A lot of times I don't remember them. I just remember the feeling. And it's important to have that beautiful connection with your higher self, because it's almost like your avatar. I'm sure many of you saw the movie Avatar. Once you tap into that spirit self, things just start happening smoothly in your life, because it's almost like there's somebody higher, which is you in another dimension, guiding your life. And I will talk more about this in further shows. Mine was revealed from the time I was a little kid. And the reason is I died. I died when I was less than a year old, and they brought me back to life. And that saying that once you die, that you're never the same is very true, because people that die have this really connection with their higher selves and other planes. And from the time I was a little kid, I've always been able to see the future. And I know many of you probably think, yeah, right. I mean, it's okay if you don't believe. I understand that. I'm just sharing. And those that want to accept that sharing, that's great. Those that don't, you could just go ahead and tune out right now. But I suggest that at least listen to me a little bit, because there are changes that are happening on this earth, and not just on the earth, on the different planes and the different galaxies in the universe. And we need to start really focusing on other things besides material things, because there's going to be a major change. And I'm sure many of you already feel this. And that is why many of us are losing things, and things are changing in our lives faster than we could handle. And it's scary. It is so scary. Trust me, I know. For a person who's never had any fear in his life, for the past 6 weeks, I felt a little fear, because I'm used to change, but things have so rapidly changed for me recently that it's like trying to take a gasp of air. So yes, start getting in tune with your higher self. Start really understanding that other realm that is away from this materialistic world. Start getting rid of things, because the message is travel light. All these materialistic things that we hold on to, thinking, oh, I might need it later, all it does is just saps your energy out. Free yourselves, brothers and sisters, dear ones. The time is now for the change. Time is now to love. Love yourselves, love one another. Break down the walls that have kept us prisoners in the stupid matrix, and hold on to your hats, because the best is yet to come. And I'll continue with some more of that great information when I'm a little more in tune. I'm tired, and it's hard for me to really center myself at the moment. But I want you to tune in for me on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to have Dr. Heather Gansel. She has created a program to be able to work out trans women, and I think also trans men. Back in the day, I had Bodies Under Construction, and I did see many trans clients and help them greatly. There are ways that you can train. Specifically, I believe that you are able to change your genes and change the format of your body by tuning in. I use a lot of spiritual guidance to do so. But Dr. Heather Gansell will talk to you about her method. She's got a new book out, and I think also, I'm not sure if a new video is going to be out, but it'll be an interesting show, and she's willing to take your questions. So please tune in, as always, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Gay Live Television. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to my sponsors, my advertiser, my beautiful Gianda, and all of you. Remember, I love you. But don't forget how important it is to love yourselves, too. I'm leaving you with another one of my originals called Truth. Good night, folks. Love you. Mwah.
They were welcome.